All right, so I've got a good one for you guys today. Struggle habits. Because, you know, I've seen a lot of people talk about struggle food, but I'm eating good food. I just live like shit, you know? All right, so I'm gonna start this video out by saying I'm probably one of the poorest creators on this platform. Aside from like a literal homeless dude, I'm pretty piss poor broke. Hey, you got any change? No. How about you? You got any change? I could certainly be using a few fucking dollars right now. Where's my change? So I've compiled a bunch of tips that have personally helped me out in life so you don't end up like this homeless guy on the side of the road begging my broke ass for money. So starting this out is one that I do almost daily. So you wake up, you got your one pair of dirty ass socks. They got like 4 massive holes in them and shit. Now, when you wear your socks enough, eventually they get dirty enough to the point where they kind of harden, right? Now, that's the point where I'm kind of like, damn, I need to wash these fucking things. I'm about to get no bitches in these. And that's a problem. So what do? Well, I don't own a washer or dryer, and if you're as poor as me, odds are you don't either. So you wash them bitches in the sink. Sometimes I just throw my clothes in the dishwasher. Now, honestly, that's nothing special. The drying part is the special part. Now, you gotta do what you gotta do to dry them bitches out here, all right? Because I need a pair of socks right now. I need a pair of socks for today. So you get yourself a little skillet, you turn on the heat, and you start cooking yourself some socks. That or use the microwave. But the microwave's a little more complicated. You gotta like open the door and close it, and then open the door and close it after like 30 seconds each time. It's a whole process. But if your dryer is broken, I'm telling y'all, put them in the microwave, and you can dry them bitches pretty quick. Next up is drying yourself, because I take a shower every day, right? I can't wake up without a shower. Now, if you're like me, you have no towels. You do, but they're all dirty. So legit struggle tip number 2, get your blow dryer out. I've been drying my whole body with a blow dryer for probably about like 2 years now. It works. It takes a while, but it works. You're gonna be there for probably about 20 minutes, but hey, eventually you'll be dry. Now, legit struggle tip number 3 is holes in your shoes. I have a massive hole in my shoe, in my Jordans. And yes, I wear these daily. I took them to a cobbler and the cobbler said, yeah, we couldn't get nothing to stick on these. And I'm like, okay, what does that mean? It means we couldn't fix your shit. Okay, can you sew them? No, our sewing machine's broken. Okay, can you hand sew them? No. How is your only job to fix shoes and you can't fix my shoes? Like, that's fucking insane. So I sewed them bitches myself. That's the real tip here, is sewing. When you're broke as shit, sometimes you gotta sew up jeans, shoes, and especially socks. Now, legit struggle tip number 3 is cutting your own hair. My haircut is nothing fancy. I just trim it up with some trimmers, and I think it looks good. Now, I understand some people gotta do some fancy shit to get their hair looking good. My hair just kind of naturally sticks up, like it's like an afro almost. Not really an afro, but it's like, it's got the same vibe as an afro. And well, shit, that works. Now, legit struggle tip number 5 is making do with what the fuck you have. Now, I'm gonna give you a prime example of this. It was winter time. My windows were completely iced over. So what did I do? Well, I took the bottom of a Pringles can and started scraping the ice away from my truck. I had to go to work. And I will say, over the course of like 2 or 3 years, it still hasn't scratched up my windows, cleaned the ice off my truck with a fucking Pringles can. Alrighty, moving on to number 6. And this is one that I think everyone should be doing. Number 6, check for credit card skimmers. Imagine you're at a gas station, right? And you live in a shitty area. You're fucked. That's just it. You're fucked. If you're a city dweller, odds are you've got like those cards that's tap to pay, where you just tap the screen, it pays like that. But if you're from a poor area, you probably don't have that. Like, I know I don't. I have to use a community bank because there's no fucking banks around me. And guess what? I'm left with the fucking chip. So do what I've been doing over the last actually 5 years now. Tug on that shit. Tug all around it. See if that shit's gonna come off.
No, sir. Please, you're not to do that. You cannot touch.
Because I have been fucking snaked before. I'm not getting snaked again. It's like STDs, yo. You gotta check that shit. I'm not about to stick nothing in nothing if it's not tested. Moving on to number 7, you got your food stamps. Now, in my opinion, if your family's not on food stamps, you're rich. Like, that's just how that goes. Like, my definition of rich is not on food stamps, and that's rich. So struggle tip number 7 is rice, beans, and chicken. That's just it. No more explanation needed. All right, struggle tip number 8. Now, there's been times where I've had to sleep in my car just because I didn't have a place to go. Now, if you've ever slept on your car before, you would know that heat is like the sun from that one fucking Mario game, actively trying to kill you. You wake up in a puddle of sweat, windows gotta be rolled down and shit, roll the windows down, fucking like 4 different mosquitoes flying. So, what do? Well, cover the windows with blankets if you can, and park in the shade. And honestly, when you have nowhere to go, parking in the shade is way harder than it sounds. Now, back when I used to sleep in my car, my local hospital had a small parking garage that I used to just sleep in, just to stay out of the sun. If you ever lived in your car, you know how bad it is finding fucking shade. Yes, ladies and gents, I wasn't fucking around when I said struggle habits. I grew up poorer than most. Number 9 is bed bugs and cockroaches. Now listen, roaches weren't that bad, all right? Them bitches were just chilling in the sink.
What?
When it comes to bed bugs though, that's the reason I moved out. Them bitches were fucking trifling, son. You wake up scratching your legs and shit, looking like you have 4 different fucking diseases. And let me tell you guys right now, them bed bugs stand on fucking business, son. The only tip I can really give is don't take furniture from Goodwill or the side of the road. And if you go to the movies, check your clothes thoroughly afterwards, because sometimes there's some bummy people that go to them theaters. Number 10, arguably the most important tip, is watch out for yourself. Because at the end of the day, when you grow up poor as shit, you're fucking on your own. You can't look at someone and say, yo, help me out, bro. They're gonna look at you like, I gotta help myself out. Like, I remember when Daniel, yes, the Daniel from 2 years ago, he was homeless and he asked me for a ride to Walmart so he could grab a tent. And I said, yeah, bro, I got you, because, you know, me and him are good buddies, you know what I mean? So he gets in my car and halfway there whips out a baggie of snow, a gun, takes a bump just all in my car on the highway, looks at me and says, hey, bro, I gotta go bust this sale real quick, G. What? Bro, I was taking you to get a tent at fucking Walmart. Needless to say, I did help him bust that sale, allegedly. And he didn't even want a tent from Walmart. He just went back. He told me he was sleeping under a bridge that night. A little fun fact, I guess. He moved down to Florida and he has a kid now, so. Hey, Daniel, I know you watch my videos sometimes. Congratulations on the kid, man. Daniel's not his actual name. I don't think he'd want me using his actual name in a video, but, you know. Still, congratulations, man. Anyways, look out for yourself, ladies and gentlemen, because he could have fucked me over there. Imagine I got pulled over. Hey, bro, hold my bag real quick. Like, there's been many, many times where I've helped somebody out and got fucked for doing it. Little piece of advice, keep your friend group small, because when you grow up poor, somebody always wants something from somebody. But the one thing I will say is there is nothing that can compare to a close friend when you both grew up from the mud. I'm not gonna sit here and say I had it the worst, because I know people that have had it worse than me. Alrighty, do me a favor, join the Discord server. I'm actually giving away a brand new free Toyota RAV4 to a random person who joins. That's a fucking lie, by the way. I'm not giving away shit. Thank you to all my patrons. I actually plan on uploading special videos there soon, so stay in touch for that. Thank you all so much, and special shout out to Gypsy. Thank you guys so much for helping me out. I mean it, you guys fucking rock. So in conclusion, be born rich. What's the problem, y'all? Shit, it's that easy, guys. Have a good day, guys.